world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Tuesday, February 14th, 2023. Happy Valentine's Day to you lovebirds. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you!
Next to Tassie is the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Heyo!
Heyo! And last but not least, over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer, JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. Shout out to the stream team joining us live on YouTube. Like the vid, subscribe, comment away. Get your No Dunks merch over at nodunks.com. The perfect Valentine's Day gift. We dropped a new jersey on Friday. There are a few left. 7 to be exact. Yeah, I believe there's 5 XLs and 2 double XLs. That's all that's left.
You better beat Greg Ostertag to the website.
Ooh, you think he's going to pick one up?
Oh, yeah, double X.
Yeah, of course. And because that is a Salt Lake City-inspired jersey, we have a few tickets left for our No Dunks live show in Salt Lake City this Friday, February 17th at the Urban Lounge. Hit that link in the show notes. Come hang out with your boys. And if you want to get a VIP meet and greet package, hang out an hour before the show, get preferred seating. Take advantage of that. Costs you a little bit more, but a priceless experience hanging out with us an hour before we go on stage. See how nervous we are, how jittery we are, going over our show notes. Are you leading up, down? Am I doing it? Which order are we going here? Does your mic work? What'd you think about sound check? That's what we'll be doing.
We'll be talking over logistics.
Yeah.
Make sure to get your VIP ticket to hear about the logistics.
Yeah, what comes with your ticket is a link to our Google Doc.
That'd actually be nice.
So you can see
Just
us
read
work.
access, no editing.
No, of course
Sorry,
not.
That's the VIP.
Yeah, we can't trust you with that. All right, on today's podcast, we're going to hit the beach and answer a few of your questions that you guys sent in. They're all All-Star Weekend related. So we'll do that a little bit later in the show. But let's start with the games. There were 11 on last night. We'll try and touch on as many as possible. Let's start, though, with the Blazers hitting 23 three-pointers as they beat the LeBron-less Lakers 127-115. LeBron misses his third game in a row after setting the all-time scoring record, and people are wondering what's going on. Is it his foot? Is it his ankle? When's he coming back? Wednesday? What the hell? Anyway, what'd you think?
Yeah, we were on playback last night watching some of the early games, and the takes were getting hot around LeBron. It was a very no dunksy conversation. It was one of those other sports talk conversations, but it is true. He hasn't played since he set the record. And he played after he set the record in that game, in the fourth quarter of that game, but even that fourth quarter, he kind of wasn't playing. He was taking a back seat to everybody else. He has had imaging on that foot, so there is a problem, but it sure feels like, just from this perspective, that he could be playing through it. It's more like he's hurt and not injured. There's that difference, it feels like. And obviously, the team on the floor. Let's give a little credit to the Blazers.
Hell yeah.
Moving that thing around, moving that rock around yesterday. Everybody hitting threes. They got out to a 34-point first quarter. Starting their new guys, Cam Reddish and Matisse Thybulle, that they picked up at the trade deadline. Even Thybulle was hitting threes last night.
Oh, yeah.
Shane Sharp doesn't hit a lot of threes off the bench. The young rook, the 19-year-old, the three looks good, though. Everybody feeling it, and I guess what the problem was on the Lakers side, just the defensive connectivity. It's just a little too late, it feels like, to get this thing together. You look up and down the Western Conference standings. We'll get to the Mavs, who have lost 2 in a row now. You lose a couple games, and you got probs. And so the Lakers, yeah, they improved, but you got to put it together right away, and they're starting from a deficit because they're so far back in the 13th seed in the Western Conference, and it's going to be hard for them to come back, period.
This is what Chris Haynes said about LeBron's foot, I believe on his new podcast there with Stein. Quote, "The way it was explained to me is that sometimes it flares up different sides of his foot, depending on the cut, the way that he plants certain times." And he went on to say it's something that might linger all season long. And then Haynes later went on to say, though, they're saying it's the ankle. So it was the foot, it's the ankle, they're all connected, Dr. Kirby. But yeah, we did get into this, like, what's going on here? He's at the Super Bowl. He was working out before the game yesterday with Phil Handy. There was footage going around. Obviously, they decided to sit him down. He's played a ton of minutes. I mean, for a guy that is 38 years old, he played a ton of minutes in January. Was a part of that trying to get the all-time scoring record? possibly. But by all accounts, he's going to come back on Wednesday.
Just in time for the All-Star game.
Right.
I love it. We got to see LeBron in this big-time All-Star showcase that has no impact on the Lakers season. I'm with you, Skeets. You need some rest. The guy's 38 years old. He literally carried their team while Anthony Davis missed a huge chunk of time. He's a very nice 69th in total minutes in the league, at least heading into last night's games. This is the most minutes per game he's played since 2018. This is the Lakers' 2018 season. I don't know if people are noticing the parallels here. Star guard who isn't living up to the hype. We got to get him out. The vibes are bad until he gets out, and the team is good but not great. But the Lakers right now, they need wins. They're 2.5 games out of 10th seed right now. They're still 6 games under 500. LeBron put a ton of public pressure on Rob Pelinka to make moves. Pelinka made moves. And then LeBron hasn't even played with the guys yet. So that's the thing. It's like, yeah, maybe the defensive connectivity isn't there. There are certainly issues on the court. But the main thing is their star is not playing in games that they absolutely need to win. And yeah, Portland, they were on fire last night. 23 three-pointers, 17 in the first half. It was either Lillard, Cook, and Austin Reeves, which you'll take that matchup 100 times out of 100 if you're the Blazers, or a wide open shot for a guy like Watford or Thibault. Shooting's contagious. They're getting wide open looks. Was the plan from Darvin Ham. The Ham plan. They did such a good job, the Lakers did, against the Warriors, taking away their three-pointers. It was crazy to see them playing completely different against the Blazers team that's trying to do the same thing. So I thought pretty poor planning from Darvin and the crew. And then disappointing if you're a Lakers fan to not see LeBron out there when theoretically they're trying to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, they're 5-9 now in games that LeBron doesn't play this season. Just sort of their record when LeBron does play in terms of winning percentage. No, I guess it's better when he is playing. But
slightly better, yeah.
Yeah, slightly better. But yeah, they need these. And this is a team they're going to be competing against, in theory, for one of these spots, is the other part. Like, no one would be making a big deal about this at all, of course, if the Lakers record was flipped, right? And they were, comfortably in a playoff position or, somewhere they're flirting with home court advantage in a first round. No one would care. Everyone would be like, oh, yeah, absolutely. You guys 38, ton of minutes, got the record. All-Star week. It's a strange week as it is. You got new pieces. Yeah, rest up. But the difference is here, they need these W's. And, you just start looking at how many games are left and start crunching, what they have to go to even have a chance to get in the play-in, potentially even on the road in the play-in. And it's like, wow, it's getting late early, Tass.
I like that saying.
Oh, I love that line. Put it on a magnet.
It's going to feel like that in Utah when we're doing a show, Mountain Time Zone. It's getting late in the show, but it's early, I guess. It's getting early, late, probably the better saying. Anyway, you can manipulate it however you want. It's getting early, late here in Salt Lake City. It's time to call it a day. Anyway,
Can't wait for you to say that on stage.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with, but I got a few days to think about it. It is getting late for the Lakers. Trey brought up a really good win against the Warriors on Saturday. They fought, they scrapped against the Warriors, but this team just can't do it multiple games in a row. They can't string multiple games in a row. They'd lost multiple games in a row before that win against the Golden State Warriors, where they did scrap, they did fight, and the connectivity was better. But the Blazers just started raining down, and the Lakers still have that problem, even though Malik Beasley, who they got as part of their triumvirate of guys that they brought over at the trade deadline, along with D'Angelo Russell, he hit 6 threes off the bench. He led the team in scoring off the bench. You get that, but you don't get enough defensive effort. And who's that on? To me, yes, we can talk about LeBron, but Anthony Davis has not lived up to his billing since coming back from his injury. I mean, you got to run a defense. You got to get these guys to scrap a little bit more. And it's all going on Bron here and talking about his foot / ankle / being old. If you want to come in the VIP and look at all of our bodies and all our injuries, I'm sure we've got a ton of them as well. I mean, we're not going to take off our clothes, but I'm saying
you can pay extra for that.
Ankle / foot / LeBron is definitely playing through stuff. Anthony Davis got to play through stuff too and get some dubs here. But they're 6 games under 500, so yeah, the play-in tournament's on the horizon. It's there for the taking, the play-in tournament spot, but then they're screwed. It feels like beyond that.
They got to play their best basketball of the season for 2 months straight to get the 8th seed.
Right.
And then try and win there and then go into the actual playoffs and try to win another 3 series. once they started 2-10, it was over for the Lakers, and you're seeing it now. That was 8 games under 500. We're now 2.5 months further on down the line. They're 6 games under 500. Every game counts.
Darvin Ham said the team had no answer for Lillard last night. He had 30 in the first half.
Yeah,
so that was
true.
He said, quote, aside from stealing his sneakers, I don't know what else you could do. That is galaxy brain thinking there from the coach, though. He should have tried to steal his sneakers. They always have replacements, obviously, back in the locker room. But how many times would you have to steal a superstar's sneakers in a game for him to be like, damn, they got them all. I'm out. Like, how many sneakers does Damian Lillard have at the arena? I'd love to know. Somebody get on that. Jason Quick, if you could ask some questions, that'd be great.
I'm sure somebody would drive them in from his house.
Or
I think you're
like
in
a
better...
teammate could give him a pair.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, Lillard's probably not a very odd size.
What size is Damian Lillard?
I'm sure it's out there.
15? Oh, okay.
Wow.
I don't know. 14? I was going to guess.
I'll go 13.
Yeah, he's smaller. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. Anyway.
Shoe shy.
Anyway, but hold on.
16?
Come on.
You like some roomy. 16?
Yeah.
That's a big foot.
How tall is
man.
Damian Lillard?
Lies.
6 feet?
That's
6'2",
lies.
195?
Like 6'2". Okay, so that means he's really 6'1", probably.
Exactly.
That's a big foot, man.
No.
That's a big foot.
Trey Kirby is...
I'm jealous, man.
Yeah.
I'm jealous of this man's feet. I got 3 inches on this guy, and he's got... I don't want to say that loud, man. He's got 4.5 shoe sizes on me. That's like a 13-year-old. A whole 13-year-old's foot can fit in there.
Damian Lillard could play very comfortably in these big red boots that everybody's rocking. I saw Seth Rollins in the WWE was wearing them last night.
moving.
Lillard has scored at least 24 points in each of his last 19 games, and he's averaging 36.9 points per game, 7.4 assists per game, with shooting percentages of 51.1 from the field, 39 from deep, and 94.5% at the line. He's basically automatic there over that span. That's 19-20 games. This happens really every year with Lillard, where there is that 3 to 4 week stretch where he's just one of the best scorers in the game, and you're like reminded of it as he tries to drag his team to a play-in or a playoff spot.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter who the Lakers had on him. We can, poke fun at whoever guarding him, but you set a pick for this guy. He's gonna go off. It's more of the team defense thing. I think that was the problem, and maybe they just missed Russell Westbrook. I'm kidding. It's Russell Westbrook's defense is not going to be not going to bring you to wins. But I just wanted to bring up his name because the bull crap that Russ's name took after the trade deadline, that he was the locker room cancer. Come on. Anyway, just wanted to say that, just in his defense.
Matisse Thybulle, just back to him. Awesome start there for the Blazers. 14.6 boards, 4 3-pointers made, 2 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks. He filled up the box score. And I saw from Basketball Reference here this morning, Thybulle, third player in NBA history to record at least 4 threes and 3 blocks in his first game with a new team. The other people to do it, it's just insane. Andre Ingram, the Lakers great.
Andre Ingram.
He did it in his first game.
They can use him, man. They need 3-point shooting.
They do. He hit 4 threes. He had 3 blocks in the 2018 season there in April when he got called up. And then, this is the wildest part of this stat. Donyell Marshall did it twice. Weird. He did it with the Raptors in 2003, and he did it in his first game there with the Wolves in 1994. Donyell Marshall, Andre Ingram, and now Matisse Thybulle.
I doubted Donyell Marshall once. Lang Whitaker came at me on Twitter. He said, what the hell? He was great at UConn. And he was a fine NBA player as well.
Of course.
I will say, watching Josh Hart that we'll get to in the way he's playing in his early days with the New York Knicks coming over from the Blazers, some of this is just a little, we're high right now.
Oh, sure.
Thybulle's not going to shoot that well from 3 forever.
Well, he might. He might if they're wide open shots.
Yeah.
I mean, they
They
were
play the
guarding
Lakers
him.
all the time.
The guy who was guarding him was standing in the lane, letting him shoot wide open threes. He's not a great shooter.
No.
But the place he's going to be the best shooter is wide open from his preferred corner with not even a contest on him.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I saw Darvin Ham said they checked the analytics at halftime, and their shot quality would have been first in the league defensively.
Yeah,
They gave up 17 threes. I mean, sure. Process, stats, it matters. But also, the scoreboard matters, and seeing the shots go in. You can't leave a guy wide open like that. You can do it in the playoffs. Fine.
Right.
Try it. Let the pressure get to him. But there was no pressure on the Blazers last night. They saw no LeBron. They said, we can win this game.
Let's keep it moving here. Kyrie's 26 points in the fourth quarter, not enough as the Mavericks fall to the Wolves. TK, why don't you get us started on this one? Any takeaways?
I guess the only takeaway is the end. Like, we got to talk about the end. The Mavericks came back. Kyrie Irving, 26 points in the fourth quarter, the most he's ever had in a quarter, which was pretty surprising because we've seen some incredible quarters from Kyrie. I saw he also is the only one to have a 20-point quarter for the Mavericks other than Luka. No surprise this season. But it came down to the final play. Just like it came down to the final play on Saturday night for the Mavericks against the Kings, Luka didn't pass it to Kyrie Irving. He said, I should have passed it back to him. I'll do better next time. So this time, Luka and Kyrie just passed back and forth like 10 times at the top of the key, trying to get a wide open three to tie things against the Timberwolves. They just couldn't get the right shot off, and they were probably too close to each other. I mean, they were within 6 to 7 feet, both being defended pretty well. So shout out to the Timberwolves for two things on that one. Good defense, and also deciding not to foul up three. Apparently, Chris Finch said the team said, we're going to play this one out. And they went out and they actually played it out, got the win. Good thing for the Timberwolves to not completely blow that lead. It definitely felt like things had turned in the Mavericks' favor. But as we can see, game 1, no pass. Game 2, too many passes. Game 3, just right.
Gotta find that balance.
We shall see. We shall see. They got to work on the chemistry. But they got two big shot makers. Kyrie and Luka both hit huge threes in the last couple of minutes of this game. So you're comfortable with both of them taking the shot. One of them just has to take the shot.
Felt like Luka was trying to make up for not passing it the other night. Here's the pass. He should have shot it this time when he got it back from Kyrie, because he did have a tiny bit of space on Jaden McDaniels. But him and Anthony Edwards, they were right up in Kyrie and Luka's face. It was well done. They needed a three. Don't guard the 2-point territory. Guard the three-point line, and they did a really nice job.
That play at the end is getting a lot of attention. The defensive play there from Edwards and McDaniel switching and staying on Luka and Kyrie, and deservedly so. But make sure you check out the defense that Kyle Anderson had on Luka with about a minute to go in this game.
Swiper.
He locked his ass up in the corner, so he was smart. He was using sort of the baseline and the side sort of as help defenders in a weird way. But yeah, just picked his pocket there in the corner, really moving his feet. It was an awesome defensive play there by Kyle Anderson. But yeah, Wolves, hold on. Built a big lead. Rudy had a great game. Yeah. Anthony Edwards had a big shot late where he attacked. A really tough, finish inside. And just enough defense to get it done.
Yeah, I think you got to talk about the Wolves, and it was fun watching them the first couple quarters of this game and how they got out to that 26-point lead. You could see Mike Conley looking for Rudy Gobert a little bit more, and Rudy being involved a little bit more offensively. He hit a lefty hook, a little bit of luck, and then Mike Conley was on the baseline, and you could imagine a play earlier in the season where if it's D'Angelo Russell on the baseline, swing it around, but he looked for Rudy Gobert, drew a defender, Rudy threw it down. So Rudy was involved, and he went 9 for 9. And I think they're playing together. And just up and down the Wolves roster, they looked great. I mean, Naz Reid in his 12 minutes was dancing around fools. He looked great off the bench. He danced around JaVale McGee, so they yanked JaVale McGee. He played 2 minutes, and he sat down. And that's why they're working out LaMarcus Aldridge. What? They're working out LaMarcus Aldridge as a backup. I don't think that's a great idea. But now, I mean, they have so many questions going forward now that they have this two-man guard superstar rotation, and then you have Christian Wood coming off the bench where now they're looking for another big. So I just bring up Christian Wood because those three guys can score, and Wood did a nice job bringing them back in this game. But they're still looking for just the right pieces, just a backup big. The Aldridge thing doesn't really make sense to me. The Nets tried it the last couple of years. Didn't go that well. But listen, watching Irving in the fourth quarter, watching him come back, that was fun. I mean, that was a show to see him do that.
One of the games we watched a decent amount on playback last night was the Nuggets Heat game on NBA TV. Jokic scores 27, and the Nuggets held off the Heat in the end, 112-108. Yes, the Miami Heat playing a close game, a clutch game. They're 41st of the season. Score within 5 in the final 5 minutes of regulation. Any takeaways from Denver's win here? 40th win of the season. I think they're the only team, along with the Celtics, to hit that 40-win mark.
Nikola Jokic is unfrickin' believable, really, because he needs zero space. We oohed and awed watching him, with the double spin at one point on Bam Adebayo in the post. It wasn't there the first spin, so he gave him a second spin. And it's easy to look at this guy and say he's not athletic, and then you see stuff like that where he's obviously ridiculously nimble and can do whatever he wants, and was putting a shoulder into Bam Adebayo, one of the league's best defenders, and just getting a tiny bit of space off and throwing it up on the glass, and it looks like a heave, but it's Nikola Jokic, so it's meant to go in, and it goes in. 12 of 14, and popcorn machine wasn't working for me, but watching this game, I thought he probably shot one time in the fourth quarter. I mean, he's just so comfortable allowing everybody else to go off, and it worked. And he didn't even have Jamal Murray with him, so he was sort of point guard, sort of center, sort of everything. And so you can't talk about him enough, I think. And he was the best player on the floor. And Jim missed the layup, which would have changed things.
Jimmy missed a bunny. I believe you're right. I'm just checking the play-by-play data here. I think Jokic shot one time and he made it in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and it was getting close.
Yeah, close game. But what'd you think of this one?
Hey man, 12 for 14 against a team that allows the second fewest points in the paint in the league. I think they might have actually been number 1 before Jokic tore him up last night. That's incredible. Also a nice game for Thomas Bryant. 10 points on 4 of 5 shooting. Also scoring in the paint. He's going to be helpful off the bench. Nuggets actually got a pretty solid performance from him, from Christian Brown, from Jeff Green. When they get support, they don't need Jokic to take more than 14 shots. On a night when they had no Jamal Murray, no Aaron Gordon, what a win for the Nuggets to pull this off against a fairly healthy Heat team. No Lowry, but, so it goes for Miami.
Yeah.
They had their 2 stars out there in Bam and Jimmy, and they had a chance to win it, definitely. Just dunk it, Jimmy. I mean, I know it's like the last minute of the game, but he's got some ups. Throw it down, buddy.
Yeah. And I love that he looked at the rim, though. It was the rim's fault.
Yeah, it was the rim's fault.
Just gave it a good old stare.
I would believe him in Denver. Those things are always
it's true.
Tilt it right off
But
there.
it was in Miami, so what up with that? Yeah, good win there for the Nuggets. And Michael Porter Jr. hitting 5 threes. That's going to help. Bruce Brown has been fantastic for them this year. He hit 3. Caldwell Pope, who's been on fire all season long from distance. His percentages from deep are amazing. He hit 2. So a little help there for Jokic, and it's enough. 27, 12, and 8 for the Joker in the end.
And they're pretty happy, I think, with the trade of Bones Highland. There's just the way the rotation was working yesterday. Like Ish Smith came in yesterday, took 2 charges. Ish, they need some minutes from a backup guard. They might sign Reggie Jackson. I guess it's just a little addition by subtraction right now.
It's possible. The other game, the one we started with last night on playback, Jalen Brunson scores 40 as the Knicks end a 9-game skid versus the Brooklyn Nets. They win 124-106. So
they lost
ran
9
away.
straight.
They never had beaten the KD Kyrie Nets, I guess, or at least in a long time. Maybe when those guys played or something. Anyway, they did it last night. Brunson was a huge part. Had 17 there in the third quarter. Popped off. That was his third 40-point game of the season. This guy, not an all-star, but he's on one right now. He's averaging 32 points per game on 61% shooting in the month of February. We're halfway through February. Pretty good numbers. We'll see if Jaylen Brown is good to go, and if he's not, Brunson's going to be one of the possibilities as a replacement. Could be Harden. I guess it could be Jimmy Butler, but I feel like it should be Brunson or Harden. But yeah, big win here for the Knicks.
Yeah, that's interesting. We always say a guy playing well at the right time before the coaches vote for the reserves. I guess in a way he's playing at the right time right now before
an injury replacement?
before the commissioner decides. Because in the first instance, you mentioned that usually it's the guy who has the next in line for the accumulative vote total from the fans, media, and players, and that would have been Jimmy Butler. And so Jimmy didn't get it.
Right. Siakam getting selected.
So really, it's just the commissioner deciding. Jalen Brunson, you play in New York. You are balling, you are in. And you could see him. It was a close-ish game until late.
Back and forth affair there for a while.
Yeah, until the best player on the floor won it. And that was Jalen Brunson, tearing them apart. And I think just to note on the other side, this team with the Brooklyn Nets now, the Bridges, the Cam Johnson, the Spencer Dinwiddie, they got nobody who can be a true number one guy, because they got no one that really has a lot of enough wiggle, shake somebody off and score. And I know people were excited to see Mikal Bridges potentially get in that role, but it's not him at this point. No. And you could see it last night.
It'll be him every once in a while. He'll have big games, but the true superstars are the ones that can do it night in and night out.
Yeah, this team has got to do it by committee.
Yeah.
And now they have so many guys. Maybe Cam Thomas can come off the bench and score 40 because right now he's coming off the bench. But they have literally now they have like 12 guys who are dudes who need playing time. They got to make some decisions. It's a crazy lineup when you look at it, and Ben Simmons is a guy who's coming off the bench and barely playing.
13 minutes last night.
Which is really weird. But I just, not to harp on that, but I know people were excited about the Mikal Bridges era, maybe. Like, it's like an OG Anunoby thing. Like, people think OG can get more possibilities or just more opportunities, I should say, and he'll all of a sudden be a number one guy. But you saw Mikal Bridges have that opportunity when Booker was out. You saw OG Anunoby have that last year when Siakam was out. It's just not them. It's a guys being dudes team, and it's going to be a more pleasant experience for Nets fans, I think, because the drama's gone. But I just don't see him, being a number one guy unless you're like we brought up yesterday, unless you're the 57-25, what was it, 12-13 Denver Nuggets, where everyone was doing it by committee, and that was a good team, but not a championship type team.
The 7th place Knicks pull within 2 games here of the Nets in 5th place in the Eastern Conference. So also a very important win for them, trying to chase them down. What do you think of this one? We watched a lot of it on playback.
Yeah, I think Cam Thomas needs to play more. 18 minutes, 20 minutes last night, 18 minutes in the game prior, which is when all the guys from the Suns showed up. He is their best player with the ball in his hands. I think he's very, very shot happy, but they kind of need that, much like Spencer Dinwiddie is as a starter. But neither of them, I guess Dinwiddie's a little bit better. Dinwiddie gets to the rim a little bit more, but that's what the Nets are really, really lacking. Like, there's nobody you're worried about in a pick and roll, which kind of hurts Nick Claxton's effectiveness inside as well. They scored 43 points in the second half last night, the Nets did. They scored 38 in the second half against Philadelphia. This is what it's going to be like for the rest of the season. Scoring will be a struggle. They don't know each other. They don't have like a number one creator, and they don't have a star, which is why the Knicks took the win last night, because they had Jalen Brunson, who was the most starry of the players out there. And apparently pairing him with Josh Hart is perfect. 67 points combined between these guys. I'm happy they get to spend Valentine's Day together.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Hart Foundation was amazing. Both of them off the bench. Hartenstein, 8-5, but he's a plus 29 in his 24 minutes. And then Josh Hart, 10 of 14 from the floor, 4 threes, got to the line a little. 27 points for Josh Hart. Yeah, pair that with Brunson's 40. Not bad. Had a bunch of Villanova boys playing in this one, along with Mikal Bridges there. But the Knicks get it done.
I just found out today that Ryan Arcidiacono was with Jalen Brunson at his Jersey retirement because they played on the Villanova championship game together. He got traded away for Josh Hart, and everybody's like, yes! Yes! Villanova back together, baby!
And he's like, hey, what about me?
Hey, what about Ryan?
What about Ryan?
What about Ryan?
What's up, Ryan? We also got some confirmation on the Mikal Bridges Iron Man streak, because we were like confused. Did it end? Is it still going? All right. We now know Mikal Bridges' consecutive game streak. It's reached 367. Even though he did miss that Nets game against the Bulls last Thursday, Bridges wasn't available to play after his trade from Phoenix in that blockbuster for Durant because it wasn't approved in time. He wasn't approved in time to go. So the league determined he shouldn't be penalized for not playing in the game in one he wasn't eligible to play in. That makes sense. So the streak is still alive, and Bridges has yet to really technically miss a game in the NBA or college. So,
he did in high school, apparently.
Yes. Anyway.
Have a field trip or something?
That's good to know. 367 and counting.
Good, yeah.
I know we were happy about that.
Sorry I misled people when I said that, but it makes sense. And it's like the league is looking at it being like, just keep it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what we talked about last night. Okay, let's just quickly, the other games last night. The other 4 Eastern Conference wins. We had the Hornets beating the Hawks in a high-scoring affair. The Cavs beat the Spurs in a game that Seinfeld predicted. The Sixers beat the Rockets. And the Magic beat Trey Kirby's Bulls. Any thoughts on any of those 4 Eastern Conference wins?
Give me the Seinfeld line.
I guess there's something going around in an episode of Seinfeld. I forget which character it was, but they predicted the actual score of the Cavs beating the Spurs. Exactly. 117, what was it, 109? Is that what it was last night?
What, in 2023?
I guess so. No, they didn't. I don't think they were saying what happened in 2023. It was just like one of those throwaway, like, Cavs beat the Spurs, 117-109.
Nice.
And you can't get anything by anyone.
This happened in 2019 as well? Cavs Spurs, the exact same thing. December 13th,
wow.
2019.
There you go. So it's just happened again. There you go.
awesome.
So there's that. And look, the Cavs, I saw some Cavs fans getting a little upset we didn't have them as a winner of the weekend on yesterday's podcast because they got a nice little win streak going here, and they're hanging around those top teams in the Eastern Conference.
It's good they're doing it in quiet, that people aren't talking about them. They're racking up these wins, 7 straight wins. Now, they are pretty locked into a home court spot unless they fall apart. They're 4th right now, which is great, trailing the Sixers. But I like how they're figuring things out in quiet. They got to figure out their fourth quarter execution a little bit, and they've made some decisions here. They've decided to sit Kevin Love, which is really interesting. They're playing Dean Wade instead, maybe just a little younger, a little more athletic, and they're going to get a Danny Green. Just to shore up, some high fives. Danny Green going home. So they've just made some decisions on the rotation. Ricky Rubio back, and they just got to keep winning. So it's fine. We're all good. And the Sixers got to be aware of the Cavs coming for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not far behind. Any thoughts on any of those 4 Eastern Conference wins, especially your Chicago Bulls?
Well, the Magic made 8 threes last night. It's not that many.
Holy.
That's a low number.
Yeah.
Very low for any team in the NBA. The Bulls shot 3 for 21.
Wow.
From 3 in this matchup. They're 26 for 125 over their last 5 games. That's 20%. The year is 2023, J.E. Skeets. You got to make some three-pointers.
Holy crap.
You got to make some three-pointers, Chicago Bulls.
Good thing they didn't do anything at the trade deadline.
Wait, that was last Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so now what? Now what are they supposed to do? I got it. Solution.
What do you got?
Westbrook.
Yeah.
I mean, he's what, 28% from 3? That's an improvement.
Be lights out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sign it up.
Oof.
Billy, make the call, Bill. That's bad, and I'm disappointed. I like to wear Bulls gear after they win a game.
Yeah.
Today's Valentine's Day. You know how many red Bulls shirts I have? I have one that says "See Red" on it. It would have been perfect for today. Instead, they lost to the team they are diametrically opposed to right now. There's no worse loss than losing to the Magic, who have a lot of the Bulls' draft capital in the forthcoming seasons.
Good point.
And I didn't get to wear a red shirt.
Man.
That was a tough night.
And you were talking even on playback last night, just vibes.
The
very
vibes are
bad
poor.
in
The
Chicago,
vibes are
right?
poor,
You said
man.
they come out and it feels like they've already lost the game.
How many did they end up scoring last night in this matchup? 91. They had 89 the game before. They did have 100 plus 100 the game before that, but 89 after that one too. They just doesn't feel like there's a lot of belief in the locker room right now. And honestly, why should there be? Because this is the same team that petered out at the end of last season. They had 2 chances now to make upgrades to it, but the upgrades that the Bulls chose were the Nets trading away their guys. That was supposed to be the Bulls' improvement. Sure. I know what you're saying, Skeets. I know what you're thinking. The Bulls front office, or their GM said, the Nets got worse, so there's an opportunity here. So you're probably thinking a team below them should want to improve because of that opportunity. I don't think so.
No.
I think stay where you're at. Play as hard as you can and pray to the basketball gods for a little bit of lottery luck, and that the Portland Trail Blazers just keep on winning games.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think this Westbrook idea is too crazy.
It is at this point. It is. It's insane. It's insane to bring in Westbrook, but
At least
I will talk myself into it.
Of course you will.
Yeah.
This man is made to dominate on a 9th and 10th seed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Be the Wizards. Go get those Wizards. I mean, go get them. Why not? Maybe he would get every shot he wants. He'd bring a little life to that locker room, which is lacking. And maybe you can bring back that "We Believe" slogan. That was a slogan once, right? I feel like "We Believe." No, they don't need slogans in Chicago until now. Now they don't believe.
Let's go to the Western Conference wins. Jazz beat the Pacers. Pelicans beat the Thunder. Eked that one out. And the Warriors beat the Wizards. Any thoughts on those 3?
Wiggy looking good.
He did.
And Brandon Ingram looking fantastic, saying the Pelicans saying we are not done despite this Zion Williamson news. I mean, the guy can carry teams. He has carried teams in the past. He did last night, 34 and a big fourth quarter.
He hit a couple tough shots.
Yeah.
It was well defended. He's like, I'll just rise up over you.
The Dort man. all up in him, Lou Dort. And so, yeah, they hopefully can keep afloat. And this Jazz team, great season, sticking close to 500 through 60 games. That's a win. When they look like, they're trading their 3 rotation players at the deadline that they would be plummeting, but they just play too hard, and they got a guy in Jordan Clarkson who's continues to ball. He was big in the fourth quarter of that game.
Any thoughts there, TK, on the Jazz, Pels, Warriors getting wins?
Well, the Warriors win, I think, is huge for them to get a dub. They've been so inconsistent this year, and just considering the way the rest of the conference went, I think it's pretty solid that the Warriors kept pace. And then we talked about it a little bit yesterday. Brandon Ingram has been playing pretty well for the Pelicans after a slow start from his injury return. They need him to get back to near All-Star level for them to be able to tread water in the Western Conference. They got that last night and got a huge win over a team they're competing with for the play-in tournament.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Pelicans nearly blew it against the Thunder. It got really, really close. They were up 5 after Trey Murphy III hit a couple free throws like 10 seconds ago. Then they just let Jalen Williams go down the floor and dunk it very, very quickly. So there's 2 more points. They're down 3. And then some Thunder pressure there resulted in a turnover. It was a tough one. I don't really know who that ball went out on, but they gave the Thunder a chance. I think Isaiah Cho, who's the league leader in 3-point percentage, had a look, but he missed it there. Could have tied the game. But Ingram and the Pels got the win. They're 30-28 and need every single one of them. All right, that's the games from last night. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to hit the beach and answer a few of your questions. Don't go anywhere. We talk a lot of numbers on this show. Points and rebounds per game, true shooting percentages, PER, defensive rating, clutch scoring. Heck, our pick'em lines, really, when you think about it. Those are numbers. Lots of stats on this show. Well, I got one more for you. 52% of men over 40 experience some form of erectile dysfunction in their life. 52%. That's like, hold on here. Beep, bop, boop, bop. That's more than half of men over 40 experiencing this. Crazy. The good news is, if you're experiencing ED, there's help. Roman is the digital health clinic for men. They offer genuine, FDA-approved medication for as little as $4 per dose. At Roman, no waiting rooms, no hassle. Just a straightforward, convenient, digital experience, which means you can take care of it all from the comfort of your home. Getting started, very simple. Grab your laptop, grab your phone, and start your free online visit. A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan, and if medication is appropriate, Roman sends it to your door with free 2-day shipping, and everything arrives in a discreet package, so no problems there. And right now, Roman has a special offer for our listeners. Use this link to get 20% off your first order. Just go to ro.co/athletic today. That's ro.co/athletic for 20% off.
This classic podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. When you're at your best, you can do great things, but sometimes life gets you bogged down and you may feel overwhelmed or like you're not showing up in the way that you want to. Working with a therapist can help you get closer to the best version of you, because when you feel empowered, you're more prepared to take on everything life throws at you. It's helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. And therapy isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, flexible, affordable, and entirely online. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit BetterHelp.com/NoDunks today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/NoDunks.
All right, here in the Classic Factory, if you're joining us live on YouTube, thank you. It is Valentine's Day, though, so if you love us, hit the like button and subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube. I don't think that's a lot to ask, especially on this day of love.
No, don't try and click it twice, though.
Oh, what happens?
Like, you would think, oh, it's a like button. I want to click it twice to show love.
Yeah, but
it's gone. It removes itself. It's not like the Instagram heart. You can click 1,000 times.
Right. So
you remove it if you click it twice.
Odd-numbered clicks only. All right. Let's hit the beach. Yeah, it's been a while since we've stepped on the beach. It's the only place to read your emails and tweets. A lot of these came through by way of Twitter, but our first one was an email, Tess.
It's from JB. He starts it, or she starts it by saying, "Sup, no donkey boys." I had a good laugh listening to Andrew Schleck do an ad today. It was a Roman ad. It started with, "Yo, fellas.
Oh.
You ever have problems in the bedroom?" Oh, had a good chuckle. Anyway.
Yo, fellas.
Sup, no donkey boys. We know the All-Star rosters and our 4 dunk contest participants, but the NBA has yet to announce the 3-point shooters. There's been a few rumors, but who do you hope gets an invite? Skeets, who do you hope?
Well-timed email. There's been more than a few rumors. We almost, I think, know the whole field after you
Really?
piece them all together. Yeah, let me take you through it. Okay, on Friday, I had missed this news, but somebody let us know on playback last night. Shams, on the Pat McAfee show, that I think was at the Super Bowl, he reported, Shams did, that Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Damian Lillard, and Anthony Simons will be competing in the 3-point contests on Saturday night. So we got a pair of teammates that are apparently locked in here. You know,
Two ball
Shams
back.
usually right. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, Halliburton, Hield, Dame, and Simons. Now, according to Tony Jones from The Athletic, Lauri Markkanen, he is set to participate. Makes sense. Hometown favorite. You know, this guy's going to be starting in the All-Star game, for crying out loud. He's top 10 in three-pointers made this season, too. So
Hold on, starting?
what's that? He's
Yeah,
starting. He got
he's
bumped
a
up.
replacement starter.
I didn't know that.
Yes. 3 other rumored participants are Kings sharpshooter Kevin Huerter. I think he is basically a lock. I'm pretty sure he's in. I just saw this morning that Heat guard Tyler Hero is going to be in this thing. And then there were rumors going around with Malik Beasley. Now, he was on the Jazz, obviously traded at deadline, part of the Lakers now. I don't know if that one's confirmed. So let's just say we have 7 guys that I feel pretty confident are in this thing. It's Halliburton, Buddy, Dame, Simons, Markkanen, Kevin Huerter, and Tyler Hero. I always go to bat for last year's champion getting a chance to defend their 3-point contest title, but last year's champ, Karl Anthony Towns. So
interesting.
he's not going to be in
Yeah.
it. And we don't need him in it. He's injured, so that's fine. So we got one spot here. Can we get where did you come from? Where did you go? Isaiah Joe? I know he's not a big name, but he is leading the league, Tass, in 3-point percentage, over 45% from deep on nearly 5 attempts per game. Like, guy gets him up.
You're going to want a bigger name, Skeets, because the field has been announced.
Oh, just announced?
Minutes ago.
Oh,
Literally
Jesus.
minutes ago.
Am I right about the
From
7?
Shams Charania. Yeah, you got 7 of them right.
Okay.
There's one name remaining. Biggest name in the field.
Biggest name in the field?
Yep.
Luka?
No, but starting the All-Star game. His team is a great shooting team.
His team is a great shooting team, and he's starting in the All-Star game.
Yes.
Why am I drawing a blank right now?
Me too.
He's got 2 first names.
Paul George?
No, he's not starting.
No, he's not starting.
He's
I don't
not
know.
starting. He wears green.
Oh, Jason Tatum.
Jason
Oh,
Tatum.
interesting.
2 first names.
People can be named Tatum.
I guess.
I think it's about 50-50 on first names.
We've talked a lot
versus
about
last name.
2 first names recently.
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum, okay.
Kevin Huerter, Tyler Hero, Halliburton, Hield, Lillard, Simons, and Markkanen per Shams.
So no Isaiah Joe,
10:43 a.m.
no Utah Watanabe, who's actually the NBA 3-point percentage leader, just
Yeah.
doesn't have the, I guess the attempts or the makes to really
He's
get
too
up there.
selfless.
48%.
He's too selfless for this event. That's the problem. He
Okay,
doesn't shoot
look. I mean,
It's not too many teammates here, I think.
you don't like the pairs?
I mean, I don't mind them. These guys all deserve to be there.
Yeah.
Simons, Buddy, Lillard, and Tyrese Halliburton.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about yesterday. Tyrese Halliburton getting up shots. A slow release. Looking forward
That's a
to
good
seeing
point.
what he can do. But I don't know. I like the representation from different teams. Anyways, those guys deserve it. Tyler Hero's that's an odd one to me. He's like
What?
average-ish. It's like 36.9 from 3. He's not like a
Right.
hot 3 man. Lowry, I can totally understand. Kevin Huerter is like the percentage guy. Like, he should be in it because he shoots a great percentage on a lot of attempts. So he's the guy I think who you think like more like the Isaiah Joe. Getting so many threes up. Not a star by any means, but can be in the 3-point contest. That's for sure.
Tatum's gone in this before too, so he wants to win it. I think he went to the finals one year. maybe in 21, I want to say, a couple years ago. Anyway,
Definitely was in it.
He's in it.
2021. Yeah, he went to the finals 2021.
there
Nice.
you go. I would have liked to. Like, I always like him in there. Klay Thompson. I mean, I'm always going to pick Klay Thompson for one of these things. And I would have just, like, I like the idea of him. He hasn't been in it since 2018. Injury is a big part of that. But he's one of the best three-point shooters of all time. No one is going to argue with that. He only has one three-point contest win. You know, it'd be great to get that second one to, like, put your name on the list of, like, Curry and Larry Bird, who has 3, and Hornacek, and Hodges obviously has 3, and Mark Price has 2, and
Mark Price.
a couple other guys have 2. Anyway, but no Klay. So we got our 8. That's fine. It's the starry three-point
Starry, yeah.
contest.
It's very starry.
It's very starry.
It just
Anybody tried that yet? Does it
saw
taste
at
the exact
store
same?
yesterday, and I was like, ooh, caught my eye.
Does it taste the exact same as a Sierra Mist?
I don't know. I'm a Sprite man myself.
Okay.
yeah. It caught my eye as well. I was there on Super Bowl Sunday.
It really pops. Looks like a
Whoa.
laundry detergent.
Whoa. Mark Price got mad at Muggsy Bogues on Twitter. That's my Mark Price news.
Okay.
Because Muggsy
I love both those guys.
his top 5 Tuesday for the best shooters of all time were Steph, Bird, Reggie, Ray, and Dell. And Mark Price went at him and said, "Come on, Muggsy, where's the love?"
Oh,
And Muggsy said, "6th. You're 6th, pal." Number 6.
that's nice of him.
Anyways, Utah Watanabe should be in there. Get him in 58%. Or sorry, 48%. Just doesn't shoot enough.
And hey, we'll make our predictions because I know you'll be waiting with bated breath to see who we pick. We'll do that at our live show on Friday night in Salt Lake City, which I believe we are flipping into a podcast too. We'll make all our All-Star Weekend predictions there on stage when the pressure's really on.
Who shows up when the lights are brightest?
Yeah. Are you leaning towards anyone right now? Can you tip your hand?
I'm leaning towards Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
Yeah, gonna be Buddy.
Buddy's
The only-
won one too, right?
I think he has. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only guy in the top 10 in three-point percentage that made the field. How's that possible?
Wow.
That's weird. We said Bane's not in it, right?
No, Bane's not in it.
Why don't they just take the top three-point shooters?
They want more stars. You know, they prefer.
Yeah.
They'd prefer
they can get
Tatum
stars
over
for this
Isaiah
one.
Joe,
Yeah,
let's be
fair
honest.
enough. Fair enough.
And it saves them a flight. It's already there.
Good point. Good point.
All right, let's get to our next question. Also, All-Star Weekend inspired. This one's from @DynamiteScott. I need an old timers game at NBA All-Star Weekend.
You sicko.
Yeah. Who's your starting 5? Trey, help out Scott. He
Okay,
wants an
Scotty.
old timers game.
I made myself some rules here. No Bulls.
That's nice of you.
Yeah. What am I going to do? Pick Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, Miller, Noah. That's my starting 5 if it's all Bulls.
That'd be fun.
No Hall of Famers.
Okay.
Too easy.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to be 50 plus.
Yeah, that's a
perfect.
good rule.
Old timers.
That's old.
Not medium timers.
No Hall of Famers, though.
No Hall of Famers.
No.
I don't want them. Not on my team.
All right, who you got?
First name I added. Very first name. Ahead of his time. Made a couple of NBA finals, if I'm thinking correctly. Very high draft pick. Played alongside Michael Jordan once upon a time, but not in the NBA.
No. Okay, you said
Sam
no Hall of Famer.
Perkins.
Sam Perkins, Big Smooth.
Big Smooth.
All
First
right.
guy I want to see. I don't know if he's a 4 or a 5. I think he's playing the 4 on my team.
Okay.
These are all some of my favorites from back in the day.
Okay.
Joining Sam Perkins in the front court for my old timers. Another man ahead of his time. Probably would average a triple-double in today's NBA. Vlade Divac.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Good one.
The original Nikola Jokic. The original Brad Miller. The original guy I thought my dad played exactly like. Flopping everywhere. I'd love to see him take a flop in an old timers game.
I mean, look, if
Might not get back up.
if Lowry was taking charges in the All-Star game, why not Vlade in the old timers game?
Those are my big boys. Those are my big boys who are coming and playing in the old timers game. I also want to see former All-Star MVP Glenn Rice.
Well, that's nice.
I'm trying to get a lot of shooters on this team because I think that's a skill that ain't going to fade away.
Yeah.
I think Glenn Rice is going to be able to pop 10 threes in an old timers game. Mm-hmm. That'd be fun to see.
Okay.
Also, perimeter player, wanted some fancy passing. I was happy to see and quite surprised, honestly, that this man was over 50. Penny Hardaway.
Penny's over 50.
That's weird.
Wow.
He should be in his 20s. He kind of still looks like
He looks
he's in his
great,
20s.
yeah.
He looks incredible. Obviously an all-NBA caliber player back in the day. Still active in the basketball community, coaching. So I'd like to see Penny Hardaway. And then my last choice was a tough one. Actually had Mark Price on the list.
I was just going to say he's 58.
Exactly, 58, great shooter. I think seeing him knock down a bunch of threes would give people a lot of respect for his game back in the day.
Right.
So let me know if you want to hear Mark Price, or if you want to see Mark Price. I also assume he probably has great gray hair at this stage in the game. Probably looks like Arnie Duncan out there. So it's between him and Jalen Rose.
Okay.
For my fifth guy.
Okay.
I love the media tie-in with Jalen. Surely they would mic him up to be, chatting with Sam Perkins out there or whatever. Also, a bit of a flashy player back in the day, but I don't know if he kind of duplicates what Penny Hardaway is giving you out there. And you need the shooting from Mark Price.
Sure.
But so yeah, I'll go Perkins, Divac, Rice, Hardaway, and Price.
Wow. Rice and Price is nice.
Rice and Price. It's nice.
Rice and Price were the names of my 2 volleyball coaches in high school. We had a Price and a Rice.
Nice.
Just an odd little fact for
Thank you.
Yeah. Great volleyball coaches.
How would you know?
How would I know? Stratford was a powerhouse for volleyball. That's how I know. Seriously. Before my time. Like they were there for a long, long time.
In the province of Ontario?
Yeah, absolutely, Tass. They were very, very good. Winning OFSAs and stuff like that, like Ontario. Basically state titles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. I also know some good volleyball coaches, probably a little later on. They did some good OFSA work, but
nice.
Different eras, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, you're from a big city too.
Huge
Stratford,
city.
tiny, 20,000. Where are they getting this talent?
Yeah.
Getting a bunch of farm kids to play volleyball. Just kick ass.
It's in that poop water. Anyway. All right, great list.
That was a good list. You got
Over
it?
50.
Those are some old guys.
Anyone you like to see?
I like how you didn't do the Hoffers. At first I was like, you can't get the Hoffers in there, but smart move not taking the Hall of Fame players. Smart move. And also smart move not going between 40 and 50, like getting the big 3 guys out there essentially. It's too young. That's not an old timers game.
Yeah.
Even though people are asking for that.
Dynamite Scott wants it. All right, let's get to our next one. What we got?
That's from Dylan. Who are your 4 contestants in a hypothetical All-Star Layup Contest? All-Star Layup Contest. We've been talking about that for a long time.
Yep.
I actually put it on Google. It was a question on Quora. You know that site? Quora?
Yeah.
Somebody asked that. Why doesn't the NBA have a layup contest? I was surprised by that. That's sicko. For Quora, that's sicko. Steve Shapiro replied, probably because it would be incredibly boring.
That's wrong. That's just
Get out of here,
wrong.
Steve Shapiro.
Yeah.
Get out of here. It would be so fun.
All right, who do you have on your...
My 4 leading the way, unquestionably in there, John Morant. Who are you going to go with?
Well, I think Kyrie Irving is number 1 with a bet.
Kyrie was second for me.
Okay.
Those 2 are in.
Okay.
Third, I would put Zion in there. Maybe because he's injured, he wouldn't. Zion is a show. He is a show, a different bod flying to the rim. He loves laying it in. He's in.
All right.
Fourth, Darryl Armstrong. Great at layups.
Yeah, he is.
Check our short.
Yep.
Skeets put this together. The worst dunks in dunk contest history.
Yeah, he did a layup.
Okay, he's not in. My 4th would be Jordan Poole. I think he's fancy schmancy with the layups.
Okay.
So Morant, Kyrie, Poole, Zion for me.
Zion's an interesting choice.
I like it.
I mean, I get the the attraction of it all. Look at this big guy in the mix. But I feel like every one of his layups is basically the same.
Similar.
Yeah. I can't believe you didn't have, speaking of shorts, one that you made not too long ago that popped off on one of our social media channels, Malik Monk. He does the very weird layup where he doesn't dunk it, but sort of does. I mean, look, Kyrie and John Morant are your 1-2 with a bullet. Who else would you have on your list?
Steph Curry.
Sure.
Great finisher. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Ooh.
His would be all about changing speed.
Yeah, sort of spins off the backboard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, is Jokic, would he have funny, cool layups? He makes a lot of weird shots.
He
It's
does.
usually with, somebody around him and the ball bounces 38 times on the rim. I don't know. I think it'd just be funny to see these high flyers doing spins and switching hands, and he just is flopping over, kind of falling down, dink it and dump it, just sits on the rim, drops in.
In this hypothetical contest, is there a defender? Is Luke Cornett out there jumping straight up and down? Do we bring back
that's a
Roy
good
Hibbert?
question. I think you should.
So then you have to maneuver around.
Yeah, I think that part of the experience of watching a guy do a layup, you usually just think, okay, he's in the air. What kind of wild stuff is he doing to to get around either a rim or a defender. But like the Zion attraction for me is him able to get around a defender and get to the rim. The Jokic attraction is able to basically just go through a defender. So yeah, I hear you. I mean, you'd have a fourth. I think you'd have 3 standard, like Derrick Rose back in the day, like in the air.
Just like they just levitate in the air and change. Like Kyrie changes his mind 4 times in the air.
So you got
which
Morant.
hand he's going to shoot with, how he's going to shoot it, off the glass or not.
Yeah, so 3 smalls. I think if we were having a 4-person contest, 3 smalls, conventional smalls. Morant, Kyrie, whether it's Steph, Jordan Poole, somebody like that, and then a big. That's why Zion's in for me, just like they do in the dunk contest. 3 non-bigs, and then you get a Jericho Sims.
Yeah, the big is usually a waste of a spot. So might as well do it in the layup contest too. No, I'm kidding. All right, next one here. This is from York. Tweeted in, did we ever get your take on this year's All-Star jerseys? And what's the most iconic NBA jersey in All-Star game history? Let's talk a little fashion. Did we ever weigh in on these jerseys for 23 here? I can't remember.
Briefly, it was on a different. I think it was on playback.
Could have been a playback.
Oh, okay. So here they are on
platforms.
YouTube. Everyone listening to the podcast. The gradient versions here from a red to a yellow for one of the teams, and then a light blue to a darker blue for the other team.
Yeah, red to yellow. That's a good way of saying it. I thought this was an orange jersey, but you're right. It is red to yellow.
Yeah, it's a Red Rocks
There's a little
vibe.
bit of orange-ish in it. I like that one. I think that one looks pretty slick. The blue one is pretty boring.
Yeah.
My main complaint with these is they don't feel starry enough.
No, I agree.
Where are my stars at?
Look how like the colors fine, the gradients fine, but you're right. It's so boring. It just says in a very generic font, All-Star.
They got stars on the shorts, but you gotta put a star on that jersey.
Yeah, I guess there's that one on the back with the logo. But
it's on your neck.
I'm with you. Not a lot
on
going
your
on.
neck.
You want more stars?
I hear what you're saying. Just
but they're fine.
Flash it up. For us who look at jerseys 24/7, I understand we want something that stands out a little bit more. But these are also, if they're sold, I guess they're being sold. Like some people don't like.
No.
They're being sold. You can buy both.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
people like boring jerseys.
no, I disagree.
People want to have just a jersey at the All-Star game. I'm just saying, for marketing purposes, people, your middle America, not to say like you just have to be a boring guy in middle or a boring person in middle America, but I'm just saying your standard American just wants a jersey. They don't need to have a
cooler
flower
jersey
on
than a boring jersey. They want one with a cactus on it or whatever, like cool colors.
Hate to break it to you, a lot of people are boring. They just want a standard jersey.
Well, that's pretty standard.
Well,
that's what they're doing recently. You're right. The last 3 years, 4 years, whatever we're at now, they're generic. One color, another color, that's it.
So isn't the Red Rock one enough?
It's fine.
I mean, you're right. A star, some sort of
design.
Yeah, okay.
Would it kill them? It's like with the Super Bowl logos now. They're just all the same. That's the problem. Here's my issue, Tass. You wear that, 20 years from now, somebody's going to go, nice LeBron All-Star jersey. What year was that?
It was in Utah.
Where
Look at the Red
was
Rock.
that? Oh, the blue one, you'd have no clue.
It was raining. That's the weird thing about that one. It looks like it's been rained on.
Yeah, you'd have no idea. That's the part I don't like. You wear the one with the cactus, you're like, oh, Phoenix, 95, or, the Chili Pepper. Oh, San Antonio, 96. Like,
those are iconic.
It just places them, I think, is a fun part of it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And this has to do with a body of water around the blue one, right?
Jeez, I don't know.
Is that the Salt Lake?
Possibly.
I thought it was supposed to be like the night sky.
Oh, yeah, maybe, okay.
Maybe.
Okay, so the second part is, what's your favorite? What's your most iconic NBA All-Star Game jersey?
2003.
Oh,
Michael Jordan's last All-Star game. They brought back the jerseys from his first All-Star game. Now, look, these are pretty generic.
Generic.
Got some stars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They got stars on it. They 100% got stars on it, but they look classic. And I honestly don't think you necessarily need, you can't have a San Antonio every year. You can't have a Phoenix every single year, but you can have something that looks awesome. They kind of did something similar to this last year with, this slightly reddish, slightly bluish, or I guess they were gray for the Eastern Conference, if you want to call it that. And they just weren't quite the same. They could go back to these, run them out every year, and no one would complain.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and these in 03, they were basically throwbacks
Yeah.
to
Yep.
way back in the day, like the 80s games and stuff like that. Or, of course, we could just go back to them wearing their own jerseys, too, if you really wanted to do that. The whites for the home team, your own jersey, and then the away jerseys for the other one, colored ones. That looked cool, too. I like those only like when you see the photos of all the guys. And you're like, oh, that does look cool.
That's nostalgia right there. That's the part of it, I think.
Yeah.
And I think the New York ones were similar to those in that they were like simple. If you remember, they had a bit of a subway theme, but they were just real simple when we had Toronto and New York and Toronto in 15, 16. The New York one was simple,
black and white. Yeah.
just like boxy letters. I don't think you need all the flash. I think you need one.
It's an all-star game. It's an exhibition game.
We just liked that was a penny that we just saw. That was like
that was again we liked
Kobe.
it because it was a throwback, and of course it's MJ and Kobe, and it looks cool. It does.
That's what a basketball jersey should look like. A U-neck. You got some striped ribbing around the waistband, around the armholes, around the neck holes. That's what a jersey should look like. Things today too minimal. And that is the case for like a team like the Cavs, a team like the Jazz, and then the All-Star jerseys we're seeing. Spice it up a little, man. I understand that people want something simple.
Put a star on it. That's fine.
Put a star on it.
All right,
That's fine.
Let's hear
I
from
like
everybody.
the stars idea.
Yeah, it needs stars on it. It is an All-Star game. All right, final one here.
It's from Simon A. If you could choose one current NBA player to enter the dunk contest, three-point contest, and skills challenge, which player would have the best chance of winning all three?
Good question. I think there's a lot of potential answers here. I mean, look, winning the skills challenge, anybody in the NBA can win it on the right night, so that you can almost remove that from the equation. But I had 4 names that like immediately came to mind, and some of them have won contests before. Donovan Mitchell, I think he's won a dunk contest. I think he could catch fire in a three-point contest. He could obviously win his skills. Anthony Edwards, I thought was going to go in this three-point contest.
Said he wanted to.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a shock that the NBA didn't want him in it, I guess, and elected for other players. Anyway, Anthony Edwards could win all 3 of these. Zach LaVine has won dunk contests. He's been in a lot of three-point contests and has yet to win it, but I feel like he could. Anthony Simons, he's won a dunk contest.
Yeah.
He's now in the three-point contest. Shoots 38% from deep on the year. Takes a lot of them. 40% plus the previous 2 seasons, so he's a very, very good three-point shooter. And a guy that should have won a dunk contest, Aaron Gordon, doesn't shoot a lot of threes. I don't know how he would fare in the actual contest, but of course could win the dunk contest. But those ones I like the most, I think, are Simons, Edwards, and Zach LaVine, and then maybe Mitchell and an AG after that. Any other ones that you would throw in the mix?
Malik Monk, I think, is a guy who could absolutely do it. He can fly. He just sometimes lays it in. And Paul George, probably past his prime at this point for doing it, but could have done both, and the skills challenge as well.
Not an issue?
And yes, he can throw a ball through a tire.
He was in a dunk contest, right?
Yeah, you couldn't see him.
Yeah.
Did the lights out. His his suit, his jersey, whatever, didn't light up all that well.
Yeah.
It was a nice dunk, too, actually.
Really nice dunk.
Yeah.
Reverse 360.
Yep.
The little Vince Carter, but didn't look as cool. Andrew couldn't see it.
No, it was. Presentation was a little lackluster. Anyone else?
You guys got to. They all sort of come back to guys who've done both of them. Like somebody threw in here a Terrence Ross, Ignatius Roberto.
That's good.
He got up. He used to
Especially
get up
back in his day.
Yeah, but now he's old 32-year-old Terrence Ross. But yeah, you guys banged them all. That's a lot.
We killed it. Good job, guys. Great questions. A little fun All-Star edition to get us ready, get us in the mood. We're leaving on Thursday. Have you started packing?
It's on my to-do list today.
Really?
Is
Good
to
for
pack
you.
Stuff.
Good
yep,
for you.
Yep. Gotta fold my laundry, and it'll go straight into.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, straight
don't,
into the
You don't have to
suitcase.
put it away in the closet or in a drawer.
2 for 1. 2 chores for 1.
That's great.
Happy Valentine's Day.
What about you? You started?
Nah, I'm not a two-day aheader.
No.
I'm always the day before, so I'll do it tomorrow. But you guys got me thinking about the boots scenario.
Oh, yeah.
I've been slacking on buying boots. Maybe
You're
thinking about
You're
going.
thinking about going today and buying boots?
Adding another item to my to-do list. We'll see. We'll see if it happens.
So then you're just going to have to straight up wear those boots.
What is it, 3 days?
Yeah, we're not
Don't
there
buy
long.
boots. You're Canadian, man. You don't need them.
No, I don't need them.
You might
But
want some.
wouldn't you say, Can't you say the reverse? I'm Canadian. I should own some boots.
Yeah.
You can-
He
I mean,
was,
I
just, he
have
was
boots.
just in Canada. You should have had him there.
I know. I had some nice Birkenstock boots. Yeah, they make boots.
There you go.
So why do you need new boots?
They're
He's
old
going
boots.
out on the town. He's not going to some cottage. You can't be walking the streets of Salt Lake wearing Birkenstock boots.
Yeah.
It's true.
Might as
People
well
taking
just
photos with
wear
you.
Uggs. Get those big red ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is getting them on time, JD.
Yeah, Jay.
Oh. There's a backlog.
I don't know if they're out unless you're a famous person.
Everybody's got them now, suddenly.
Coming soon for us plebes.
Okay. I believe they're $1,000 on StockX.
Wow.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins selling his pair?
3x'd it already. All right, we got to take one more break. When we come back, pick 'em results and tweet of the night. Don't go anywhere.
I did a little online shopping the other day. I bought a sweater that has a shawl collar. A shawl call. Better call shawl. No matter what your goods are, hopefully they're legal. Keep yourself competitive with ShipStation. In a landscape where free and fast shipping is the norm, it can be hard for smaller e-commerce businesses to compete. When you use ShipStation, you can lower shipping costs, make returns easy, and keep your customers happy. Shipping costs are the #1 cause of abandoned carts. I only bought my shawl call because I got to that free shipping threshold. It's the only way I was going to buy it.
Oh, yeah?
And it got to me just in time. I hope to be wearing that shawl call in Salt Lake City this weekend. It's going to be a perfect fit. Cold weather, warm neck. Anyways, it saved me from being worried about what I'm wearing. And with ShipStation, all the time you save from automating your shipping tasks will help you stop worrying. Running a business can be stressful, but using ShipStation isn't. There's a free trial and quick setup, so now's the time to try it out. ShipStation makes it easy to grow your business by handling your orders from every marketplace in one dashboard. ShipStation effortlessly integrates everywhere you sell online, including Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, and more. Automate routine shipping tasks, print shipping labels, easily compare rates and delivery time to optimize your every shipment and automate delivery notifications. Get up to 84% off USPS and UPS rates. And if that's not enough, use this promo code to try it out free for 2 months. Use promo code NODUNKS today at ShipStation.com to sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com, promo code NODUNKS. Keep growing your business all year long with ShipStation.
So Cooper, who lives in Salt Lake City, or at least in the area, says, coming from someone here, you can get by without boots. And he said, it did snow a little today, but it will all be melted by Friday. Well, what about Thursday? We're there on Thursday. Gonna need boots for 8 hours. Well, that's good to hear. And Sep B was wondering, will the live show be recorded and posted? These balloons are hindering my ability to travel to Utah. It will be recorded and posted as a podcast. It will not be on YouTube because it's just too much work. So you'll have to just listen to the podcast if you want to hear us do the live show on Friday night. But good question. Okay, pick 'em results last night. It was that Nets-Knicks game. New York was favorited by 2.5 points. They covered easily. It was close. It was back and forth for a while, and they blew it open. Good win for me and Trey. We improved to 4-5. Tass took the L, and you're 5-4. So we're bunched up here in February.
4-game night in the association this evening. There's a TNT doubleheader. Unfortunately, that first one has lost some of the luster. Celtics, Bucks. The Jays are out. Jalen Brown, face. Jason Tatum, a non-COVID illness, I do believe, is keeping him out. So, didn't go with that one. The Warriors, Clippers, no Steph as the second part of that doubleheader. Can't go with that one. There's actually 5 games.
Yeah, it's 5. I was just gonna say.
The Wizards, Blazers slipped right by me, just like the Magic Raptors slipped right by me. So the game of the night is the Kings Suns. Let's go to Phoenix, where Phoenix is the 2.5-point favorite.
Kevin Durant is not
tough one.
playing. Is that correct?
Yeah.
He's coming back Thursday? Is that the idea? Is that what they were saying?
Is he doing
Oh,
that?
I don't know.
I thought he was out till
you're
after
right,
the
you're
All-Star
right,
break.
You're right. Yeah, I don't know why I said that. Never mind. No KD, at least for tonight.
Here we go. Phoenix, Sacramento should be a great one. Trey thinks Phoenix will take care of business at home. They're favored by 2.5, so they get win by 3 or more. While Skeets and I will take those 2 points think it'll be at least a close one. A very, 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 very close one.
Quite close. Hopefully, these Phoenix Suns are well rested. They haven't played in 4 days. But it is the Taskmaster trap game. First game home after a long road trip. Do 4 days matter? We shall see.
Yeah, that's why I stayed away from it, because Phoenix was on a trip. They did finish 4-1 on that trip. They do feel good, I'm sure, after coming home. And they're 2 games behind Sacramento for that 3rd seed. It's a battle.
Yes, and just to make it very clear, no Durant tonight, and he is not expected to be back until after the All-Star break from that right MCL sprain.
But he was in a Suns practice jersey on
Maybe
the
that's
court.
why I was thinking that. Yeah.
He was working.
It was a practice.
He was practicing. Okay. We got a couple of guys taking the Kings with some points to play with. TK has the Suns. Got to win by 3 or more. Let's get to Tweet of the Night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
We've seen a lot of things in the NBA over the years, but we ain't never seen this. There was a wedding in the NBA last night. According to reports, the first ever halftime wedding in NBA history went down in Dallas. A couple from Arkansas, Reed Malone and Ellen Pyatt. Reed proposed to Ellen at a game in 2021, and the Mavericks were thrilled with the way it went down. So they approached them with the idea. Y'all want to get married at halftime of the game? They said, absolutely we do.
Wow.
Full shebang. White dress, bridesmaids, groomsmen, parents, the Dallas Symphony Orchestra, Mark Followill officiating. He's an ordained minister.
Wow.
So he straight up did the wedding for Reed and Ellen.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
By the power vested in me and with 20,000 MFFLs as witnesses, it's my delight to declare you husband and wife. Reed, you may kiss the bride. Mavs fans, please welcome Reed and Ellen Malone.
Amazing.
Yay!
Did they say ID wed?
ID wed.
I was like, hold on.
With this ring, ID wed.
Wow.
I've always said the one thing missing from my wedding was an air horn going.
I did like that.
That was an awesome touch. Now,
Okay.
the question.
Yeah.
The Dallas Mavericks lost last night.
Ooh.
Do you just not tell people? You just like let that part slide by? Yeah, we got married at the game. What? When? Halftime. It was awesome. It was incredible. Did the team win? Well. Ellen doesn't care. She doesn't care at all. Reed doesn't care. They were happy to be honored. Mm-hmm. But it could be a bad omen. That's the worry.
They were down at the half.
They were down at the half. This wedding kind of turned the game.
I know, as it got Kyrie going, that's for sure. Wow. Do you think were all their friends and family in
Yeah.
attendance?
Yeah. Oh,
Did
yeah. They had parents sitting on the court. Like,
So the Mavs bought them tickets? Like, did they watch
great
the
question.
game?
That's a great question. When did she change? Is there a bridal suite there?
Yeah.
I don't know. What'd they do for a reception? I know they got hot dogs. Remember Nerlens Noel was eating hot dogs in the Dallas media area?
I do.
Who could forget? Big congrats to Reed
Yeah.
and Ellen. I'm happy for them.
Congratulations.
Is the word "the" that ancient that you just forget about it? It's not like she literally said. I don't know what Reed said because I think she was a little louder. I think Ellen was a little louder. I'm not sure about Reed, but Ellen definitely said "ID wed."
Yeah. Big D for Dallas. Yeah.
And Sep B here in the stream team with this ring, ID Wade. That's very good. Well done.
Dean Wade?
Oh, too much. Alan, forgot the word "the."
That guy, when they finally showed the guy there, he did look familiar to maybe the proposal video. Or he looks like somebody else.
I think he's a guy who looks like guys.
Yeah, he looked. I was like, wow, I sort of remember that guy. I was trying to look it up.
He had shorter hair, I do believe, when he proposed. I think they won the game where he proposed, but I thought he kind of looked like Mattio's buddy, Tall Baby.
Really?
And also J.R. Hildebrand, a guest once upon a time on the
Yeah, he looks a little like
the
him.
No Breaks podcast.
Okay.
Those are two guys that
It's
remind
got a
me of-
touch of Scott Pollard.
touch of Pollard. Man's got a touch of Pollard. I like the Mavericks blue tie that he's wearing as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then here's my final question with this.
Roberts.
Final question.
Just Josh McRoberts.
They doing a real wedding?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think so?
Or at least a dance. At least a dance party.
At least
Come on
a
down.
dance
Come on
party.
down to the Square Dancing Joe's. We got all the hits. Trace Atkins.
All right. Congrats.
Brad Paisley.
Maybe that'll happen at our Friday live show.
Marry somebody.
Yeah. I did see somebody
VIP
slid into
tickets.
the DMs to say they were coming, like a couple was coming. I was like, great.
Nice.
It's a nice post-Valentine's Day gift right there.
Anyone here ordained?
I am.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
I am actually.
Oh.
Yep.
So we can do
I'll
it.
do your wedding.
We'll do it.
Wow.
1 for
This
2
can
right
happen.
now. 1 for 2 on successful marriages.
Oh, really?
On weddings that I've officiated.
Oh, that's all right. That's 500.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to get over 50%.
Yeah, so we'd like to find another
So yeah,
couple.
I'd love to marry you. But only if you want to get married on February 17th at 8 p.m. in Salt Lake City. Anything else off limits.
But we're aren't we not 0 for 1? The show?
Yeah. Well,
In
proposals.
terms of bringing people. Well,
Yeah.
wait, didn't they get married? And
They
then
got married.
divorced?
Yeah, they got proposed on it. They got engaged on the show.
When we were the basketball Jones.
Yeah. And they were divorced, I think, before we were the starters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's all right.
Maybe it was a red flag getting engaged on a very small NBA podcast.
It's exciting.
Very exciting.
Cass almost took out a light with a champagne cork. I remember that. That was hilarious.
In the studio.
Yeah.
There were, unfortunately, they were divorced. There were 2 people that got together that were at a bar
Oh, Wedgie.
Yeah.
Wedgie,
watching a
Wedgie.
basketball
Yeah,
game,
yeah.
yelled wedgie at the same time. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got together. I'm not sure if they got married. but
Okay, so we might be also back to 500 here. We don't know.
I'm
They didn't-
feeling better. Yeah, it's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
500.
It is the
Divorce
stats.
rate is much higher than 50%, is it not? Is it like 70% or something?
Come on. That high?
You can't bring up a stat like that on Valentine's Day.
Why not?
I'm just kidding. Okay, let's call it there. Wow, this turned into a long podcast. That was a lot of fun. Guys, send in your questions to nodunks@theathletic.com. Tweet them in at nodunks_inc. Follow us across all the social media channels. It's Dunk Week in No Dunks World, ironically. Wow. We've got some fun content that we've been dropping across our social media channels. Tass already said it. I did some of my favorite worst dunk attempts in dunk contest history. We've got a couple other fun ones, dunk inspired, coming later this week. So make sure you subscribe, hit a like on those, helps us out. And we will be back tomorrow morning, talk about tonight's games and whatever else we get into at 10 a.m. Eastern here live from the Classic Factory. We have one show tomorrow, and then we are doing a show Thursday before we jump on a plane to Salt Lake City, where we then have a live show on Friday night. And then we'll be back on Monday to do a podcast here from the Classic Factory, just to keep everybody up to speed on what we're doing. Anyway, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, quick Google, don't trust this, but quick Google says divorce rate, it's about 50%.
Oh.
Love is in the air.
Embrace your loved ones, people.